It's 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday in downtown Los Angeles. The sky opens up like someone turned on a cosmic faucet, and rain starts hammering the sidewalks like nature's drumsticks on concrete. People are running everywhere. Briefcases over heads, designer bags clutched tight, everyone racing for cover like ants scattering from a garden hose. But here's where it gets interesting. In the middle of this urban chaos, there's this elderly gentleman. We're talking about Harold Martinez, 78 years old, wearing a faded brown coat that's seen better decades. He's shuffling along the sidewalk with his wooden cane, moving like time itself has slowed down around him. The rain, it's treating him like a punching bag, soaking through his thin jacket, turning his gray hair into wet silver threads. And everyone, and I mean everyone, is just walking past him, like he's invisible. Business people with their phones glued to their ears, teenagers with earbuds drowning out the world, soccer moms juggling kids and groceries. They're all too busy, too important, too wrapped up in their own little bubbles to notice this old man struggling against Mother Nature's tantrum. But then, Harold's cane hits a patch of water hiding a pothole. His foot goes down, his balance goes sideways, and gravity decides to collect its debt. Down he goes. Hard, right onto the unforgiving concrete. His cane goes flying like a wooden missile. His groceries explode across the sidewalk like confetti, and he's lying there in a puddle that's growing bigger by the second. The sound echoes through the rain, that awful thud that makes your heart skip a beat. And here's the part that'll make your blood boil. People keep walking. They see him. They know he's down, but they step around him like he's just another obstacle in their path. Some even have the audacity to look annoyed, like this old man's misfortune is somehow inconveniencing their precious schedules. One woman in a power suit actually checks her watch while stepping over his scattered apples. A teenager literally films him for 3 seconds, probably thinking content, then keeps walking. It's like watching humanity fail in real time. Harold's lying there, rain washing over him like tears from the sky itself. His hip is screaming, his pride is shattered, and worst of all, nobody cares. He's become a ghost in his own city, invisible, despite being right there in broad daylight. 30 seconds pass. A minute. People flowing around him like water around a stone. But then, a shadow appears. Not running, not rushing, just stopping. Harold looks up through the rain, and there's this figure crouching down beside him. Long dark hair getting soaked, wearing a simple black jacket that's now drinking up the rain like a sponge. The stranger's face comes into focus, and Harold's eyes widen. "Sir, are you all right?" That voice, smooth as aged whiskey, gentle as a lullaby. Harold blinks through the water in his eyes, trying to process what he's seeing. It's Johnny Depp. Not someone who looks like Johnny Depp. Not maybe it's him. It's actually, genuinely, unmistakably Johnny Depp, kneeling in a puddle on a random Tuesday afternoon, reaching out to help a complete stranger. "I think so," Harold manages, his voice shaky from more than just the cold. Johnny doesn't hesitate. He slides one arm under Harold's shoulders, the other supporting his back. "Easy does it. Let's get you upright." His voice is steady, reassuring, like he's done this 1,000 times before. As they work together to get Harold sitting up, something magical happens. The crowd that was so eager to ignore a fallen elderly man suddenly stops dead in their tracks. Phones come out faster than lightning strikes. The businessman who stepped over Harold's groceries is now recording from 15 feet away. The power suit woman who checked her watch, she's suddenly very interested in helping. But Johnny, he's laser focused on Harold. Nothing else exists in his universe right now, except making sure this old man is okay. "What's your name, sir?" Johnny asks, rain dripping from his hair onto the pavement. Harold Martinez." "Well, Harold Martinez, today's your lucky day. Not because you fell, that part stinks, but because you're about to get the VIP treatment." Johnny helps Harold to his feet, moving slowly, carefully, like he's handling precious glass. Harold's cane has rolled into the gutter, so Johnny retrieves it, checking it for cracks before handing it back. But here's where it gets really good. "Harold, I need you to do me a favor," Johnny says, still supporting the old man's elbow. "I want you to point to where you were headed." Harold points a shaky finger down the street. Just to the market. "Need to get some soup for my wife. She's been under the weather." Johnny nods like this is the most important mission in the world. "Then that's where we're going." And just like that, Johnny Depp starts walking down the sidewalk with Harold Martinez, matching his slow, careful pace step for step. The crowd follows like paparazzi, but Johnny acts like they don't exist. His entire attention is on Harold, making sure he doesn't slip again, asking about his wife, his family, his day. They reach the market, a small family-owned place that's been serving the neighborhood for decades. The owner, Maria, nearly drops her register when Johnny Depp walks through her door supporting an elderly customer. "This is my friend Harold," Johnny announces to the stunned store. "He needs soup for his wife, and we need to make sure he gets the good stuff." What happens next is pure magic. Johnny doesn't just help Harold shop, he transforms the experience. He's asking Maria about her family, complimenting her store, making Harold laugh with stories that would normally cost people thousands of dollars to hear at private events. When Harold reaches for his wallet to pay, Johnny smoothly slides his card to Maria first. "Harold, consider this a get-well gift for your wife." But it doesn't stop there. Johnny notices Harold eyeing some expensive-looking honey that's clearly out of his budget. Without a word, it goes in the basket. Harold mentions his wife loves certain cookies, but they're too pricey now. Basket. Harold looks longingly at some fresh flowers by the checkout. You guessed it. Basket. When they're done, Harold has enough groceries to last a week, all paid for by a man he met 20 minutes ago on a rain-soaked sidewalk. But the real moment, the one that breaks your heart wide open, comes when they're back outside. "Harold," Johnny says, "I want you to promise me something. Anything. Next time someone falls down in the rain, you stop and help them up. Not because you have to, but because that's who you are now. You're part of something bigger." Harold's eyes fill with tears that have nothing to do with the rain. "I promise." Johnny pulls out his phone and does something that would make headlines if anyone knew. He gives Harold his personal number. "If your wife needs anything, medicine, groceries, a ride to the doctor, you call me. I mean it." They shake hands, and Johnny helps Harold into a taxi, paying the driver and giving him extra to make sure Harold gets to his door safely. As the taxi pulls away, Harold watches through the rear window as Johnny Depp disappears back into the crowd, just another person walking in the rain. But here's the twist that'll blow your mind. 3 days later, Harold gets a knock on his door. It's a delivery person with flowers, soup, and a note. For Harold's wife, from her new friend Johnny. "Get well soon." A week after that, another delivery. This time it's medicine that Harold's insurance wouldn't cover. 2 weeks later, Harold opens his door to find Johnny Depp standing there with a smile, asking how his wife is feeling and if they need anything. It turns out this wasn't just a one-time act of kindness. Johnny Depp had adopted Harold and his wife like family. He started visiting regularly, bringing groceries, paying bills, just sitting and talking like they'd been friends for decades. When Harold's wife passed away 6 months later, Johnny was at the funeral. When Harold struggled with loneliness, Johnny made sure he wasn't alone. When Harold's apartment needed repairs, the landlord wouldn't fix. Somehow they got fixed anyway. The media never found out about most of this. No cameras, no publicity, no social media posts about his good deeds. Just one human being taking care of another, because it was the right thing to do. But here's the part that'll restore your faith in humanity. Harold kept his promise. Every time he saw someone who needed help, he stopped.
He helped elderly people cross streets, carried groceries for struggling mothers, gave his umbrella to strangers in the rain. And each time he helped someone, he told them the same thing Johnny told him. Next time someone needs help, you stop. That's who you are now. The ripple effect spread like wildfire. Harold's neighbors started helping each other. The people Harold helped started helping others. The grocery store owner, Maria, started giving free meals to hungry kids. The taxi driver who drove Harold home that day started refusing tips from elderly passengers. One act of kindness on a rainy Tuesday afternoon created a chain reaction that touched hundreds of lives. And Johnny, he never talked about it publicly, never used it for good PR, never even acknowledged it happened when reporters asked about his charitable work. Because real heroes don't do good deeds for recognition. They do them because when someone falls down in the rain, you stop and help them up. That's not just kindness, that's humanity at its finest. Harold lived 3 more years after that rainy day, and Johnny was with him at the end. The last thing Harold said wasn't about money, or fame, or regrets. He whispered, "Thank you for showing me how to be the person I was supposed to be. So the next time you see someone who needs help, remember Harold and Johnny. Remember that being human isn't about what you achieve or accumulate. It's about who you choose to lift up when they're down. Because in a world full of people walking past, be the one who stops. Be the one who cares. Be the Johnny Depp in someone else's story." And that, my friends, is how a Hollywood star became a real-life hero, with nothing but kindness and a willingness to get his knees wet for a stranger.